In the Nevada desert lies the city of Goldfield, just shy of 3 hours from Las Vegas. 1903 to 1910, Goldfield was known as the largest city in Nevada. Until the 1940s, Goldfield produced millions of dollars through its mines. During this time, this city will face a flash flood and 3 fires, which one in 1923 leveled 54 square blocks. In March 2023, my family and I traveled from Las Vegas to conduct a paranormal investigation of the Goldfield High School. The high school was built in 1907, survived the Great Fire that almost wiped out Goldfield, and served students until 1953, where it was officially closed. During its time of being a school, we've heard stories of events that happened there. One of the stories we heard was a student would get locked inside the closet of the principal's office for disciplinary actions, and one day the father found out that this was going on, so the father went down and confronted the principal. Well, that ended up leading to a physical altercation, and unfortunately the father apparently died during this altercation. One of the other stories we heard was a boy was trying to hide from his teachers, and he went downstairs into the coal room, and I guess at that time there was coal being delivered, and when it came through the chute, it landed on him, and the boy ended up dying. Seeing this building did have a dark history, and it was down the street from the Goldfield Hotel, which is a paranormal hotspot, we were pretty freaking excited to get started. During these kind of trips, I get so caught up in the investigation, I oftentimes forget that I'm going to be uploading this on YouTube. So I do apologize for some of the footage. I did my best, and I hope you enjoy our investigation of the Goldfield High School. Before getting our night started, we were able to get a small tour around the high school and got to learn a little bit more about the history and also some of the hot spots, which ended up being the bathrooms, the classroom, and the coal room, where allegedly the little boy died. After our tour, we kind of just walked around the high school trying to feel if we had got any goosebumps or anything like that, and unfortunately we didn't, so then we just kind of decided a game plan to go set up equipment in different hotspot areas, and that's going to lead us to this first clip, which is inside the coal room. In the clip, we're pretty much just doing an EVP session using the spirit box. We play our radio frequency backwards, so we don't have any accidental words come through. So when you do hear a word that you can understand, it's typically something trying to use the spirit box to communicate. If you listen towards the end, you kind of hear a small child's voice either say "my mommy" or "hi mommy." This next clip is arguably our most compelling evidence that we gathered. We were using motion activated lights, and it was triggered twice while in this room. The ground was complete concrete, so there was no stepping and causing the vibrations to make it go off from us. And what was also interesting is there was tiles from the Goldfield Hotel inside this bathroom. And then the second time was roughly 15 minutes to 20 minutes after the first trigger. So the next few clips are inside the classroom. We did a lot of investigating in here. This first bit, you could hear like it sounds like buck, it's like a buck, or I think it says like fuck or something. And then after my father asks if there's any students in here, you can either hear something whisper saying help or hell.
Are there any students here in class yet?
Next, we catch a man's voice saying help please while using the spirit box. And again, when we're using the spirit box, we scan the radio frequencies in reverse. So when you do hear a word that you can understand, it's typically something using the spirit box to communicate. This next one was pretty cool. So I ask, do you have a name? And you could almost hear like an elderly woman's voice say Hector, or like Hector, with a little bit of an R roll. And then a little bit, like 2 seconds after that, you hear a little boy in like a broken voice say Hector. Do you have a name? Do you have a name? So after wrapping up in the classroom, we go to leave, and my dad asks if you want to get his attention, make a noise. You can hear like a tap tap and then a smack, like someone smacked their hand against the wall. And then after he goes out, you can hear like an old man grunt as if he was frustrated.
If you want to get our attention, you could make a noise for us. I'll try to share your story.
While inside this classroom, you can hear some kind of bang out in the hallway. This is one of my other favorite pieces of evidence we captured. In the distance, you can hear a man kind of whisper, "I can't hear anything." And then after my sister yawns, you just hear like a bunch of whispering around the camera, which wasn't any of us. Our time was coming to an end, so we just started walking around trying to get last minute evidence. I was taking photos and we were collecting all our gear. Well, while doing this on the second floor, it sounded like somebody threw a marble or something behind my father, and I ended up catching it at a different angle on a different camera, and you could see it wasn't me that kicked a rock or anything, and it came from behind the camera.
Must have been some good times. Oh, that wasn't you? Must have been some good times. Hear that? Oh, that wasn't you?
And if you made it this far and watched the whole video, I thank you very much, and congratulations. You get to hear the most terrifying piece of evidence that I've ever caught in any of our investigations. Although we didn't catch as much evidence as we have in the past in other investigations, it was just super cool being there in such an old building with such a rich history, let alone, Ghost Adventures have been there. The Goldfield Hotel was down the road, which is a paranormal hotspot. So overall, the whole trip was a success. I know some of this evidence, people might try arguing it, such as the man's voice saying, "I can't hear anything." If you've ever been to Goldfield, it is a ghost town, and this was like late at night. We started our investigation at like 9 o'clock. By the time we got set up and actually into it, it was almost like 10:30. So there's no way that was just some random person walking down the street that was just peeking their head in there. Also, the high school has a chain link fence all the way around it. Everyone has their own opinion. Those that don't believe in this, that's fine. But I know what I've seen, heard, and experienced while doing these investigations. I'm sorry this video was kind of dry. The next one is probably going to be the same way, just a little bit. But I have another investigation coming up of some old World War II bunkers with a friend. I planned on filming it as if it was a complete episode that was going to be airing on the TV. So please don't let this video shy you away from my channel. I am just learning on how to create better videos while conducting these investigations. So bear with me. I have some big things planned this summer. I have lots of trips planned and a couple more investigations to do. So I hope you come back and view my videos. If you are interested in conducting your own investigation here at the Goldfield High School, or if you even just want a tour during the daytime and you're just a big history buff, I will leave the link down in the description on where you can schedule your tour.